Look at them. Look how helpless they are. Fucking amazing. Okay, welcome to another pure fun class build. I present to you the Blind Blizzard Brawler. Why do I call him like that? Because with this build we will blind the enemies, we will make them slip, and we will stand right beside them and they hopefully won't make a singular hit. So absolutely amazing build for just making the enemies slip, laugh at them and then have advantage on each of your attacks and just smash them out. So how can we actually build this? Well, at first I'm gonna show you all the items we need, then we go over 1 or 2 examples and then we are gonna build this fella and play him. So for the items, there are a few essential items you need for this build. The first one is the Eversight ring, and this one is extremely important because it gives you an effect that you cannot be blinded, and this is absolutely essential because we will be always in the darkness area where everyone gets blinded, and then if we wouldn't have this ring we would get blinded too. So absolutely essential. Next one, our weapon, the Morning Frost Quarterstaff. And this weapon is important because it will allow us to deal cold damage in addition to our normal damage, which is absolutely important for the mechanic we have for the next item, which is the Snowburst ring. So this one will create a 4.5 meter ice circle around the hit target if we dealt cold damage. So that's the reason why it's important that we have both those items. So every time we attack, we create this icy floor around it, which hopefully makes them slip. So since we created this icy floor, who says that we are immune to the slippery and we won't fall prone? Well, we are not. But there is another item which is essential for this build, the Disintegrating Nightwalker boots. And the main thing about this is their bonus, which gives you the ability to not slip on ice. So we can just move around and the enemies not. Absolutely amazing. So let's go over the gameplay example. So the first thing you can always do is just cast Darkness and then either you teleport in with your Misty Step spell or you just run in. In this case I just teleported in. The enemies are blinded, they have disadvantage on you, you have advantage on them. So just amazing conditions to fight the enemies. And as long as you also have a little bit of an armor class and keep on hitting your saving throws, if they really hit you, you are good to go. You will just remain in this darkness area and have a pretty easy battle against them. But the next cool thing here is that if you have, like here in this example, 2 melee ranged enemies and 2 ranged enemies, the ranged enemies, they will just run out and they can't attack you because they can't target you from outside of the dark area. So we will just remove 2 enemies from this whole battle and you can deal with them later. And this is absolutely easy to deal with them then. I mean, just look, I just cast Darkness again over them and they are just completely helpless. They don't know what to do, they can't do anything and I have advantage. I just hit them down and they are doing nothing. This is just absolutely hilarious. And in the best way possible, they will also slip and you can laugh again. So, and in a second battle, I don't need to show you everything, but here for example, you can also see the enemies, they just don't want to come inside the darkness area. So sometimes it's nice to just stay in there. Just keep in mind that you are only having this for 10 turns. So as soon as it fades, they will all attack you. So just keep that in mind. And of course, same example, you can just attack them, they will slip. You will get advantage even if they are outside of this area because they are prone. So this build is just, I don't know, it's fun to use. Build this character. We will start right off, of course, with the race. And for the race, I choose the elf with the subclass of the wood elf because I like the additional movement it gives us, so we are a little bit more mobile. But of course, you can play whatever you want. It's not the most important decision in this whole build. Then for our class, of course, we choose the monk. Nothing else to say about this. But for a background, I will go with the urchin because I just like to go with our main ability we are pumping our stuff into, which is dexterity, and urchin gives us everything in this area. So then we go straight up to our abilities. For our ability points, I would like to pump up dexterity all the way up to 17. And the second skill I want to pump up is Constitution, mainly because I want it for our saving throws if we are in the darkness, because every time we get hit we have to make a saving throw so we don't lose our spell and have to cast it again. So the higher the Constitution, the better for this specific point. So that's why I'm gonna go with a higher point here. And then done, of course, we have to make our character a little bit icy looking and just look at him, how beautiful he looks. So the first thing happens at level 3, where we are going to choose our subclass. And in this case, we are gonna choose Way of Shadow, because in this subclass we get our dear Shadow Arts Darkness, which is our main thing we want to use in this class. So at level 4, we can choose our first feat. And in this case, I will just go with Athlete, because there we get our dexterity up to 18. We get a +4 to dexterity checks, which is always nice. We get a better initiative, which is also nice. So we are getting better into the battles with our build, which is never to be underestimated. Then you will just level up until you reach the level 8. And there we can choose our second feat. There are two options in my opinion, because if we are choosing it like here, we could just use Lucky, because Lucky will give us an advantage on attack rolls, ability checks and saving throws, which is because we are moving in the darkness pretty much, and we don't want to lose it when we are getting attacked and we miss our saving throw in regards of this. So this could be really nice. But the other thing is, which is probably better, is Resilient, because with Resilient we can just push our ability, the Constitution, 1 up, and we get proficiency in our Constitution saving throws, which is amazing in this case. So it just depends on which situation you are in and what fits better in your build, because with Lucky, you don't only get it on saving throws, you get advantage on attack, ability checks and saving throws. So this could be a little bit more situational, but of course it just only has 3 luck. So the question is if this is worth it. And Resilient, we can increase our ability score by 1, and we get proficiency in the saving throws of Constitution, which is amazing for this build. But we don't get the versatility in a situation where we might wanna hit the person and we can reroll. So it just depends with which you are more struggling and you want to lose. Maybe you also want to use something completely different. If yes, then let me know. So with level 8, I finished this build. I don't go into the last levels, but you can basically do whatever you want with the last levels. Just because you have to think it's generally a fun build, and we are not going into the direction to get the most damage possible out of it. We just want fun. So if you have ideas for the last 4 levels, how we can make this build more fun or just more consistent, or if you have other ideas, just let me know, because I want the classes to be as much fun as possible to play. That's basically it. So that was my take on the Blind Blizzard Brawler. So let me know what you think about this. If you find it absolutely horrible or maybe a little bit fun, tell me. Otherwise, have a nice day. Thank you for watching and goodbye.